Lesson number 1. Fucking Micronesians! That's my 7th grade friend, cussing at those boys across the street, rocking swap meet, blue t-shirts, baggy jeans, spitting a steady beat on that stream. Yeah, that one's related to me. You know, you're actually kind of smart for a Micronesian. And that's my classmate, who I tutored through the Civil War, through the first immigrants, through history that always seems to repeat itself. When woman at the salon, delicately tracing white across my nail, stops and says, "You know, you don't look Micronesian. You're much prettier." Lesson number 3. Prettier, as in not ugly, like those other Micronesian girls who are always walking by the street smiling rows of gold teeth like they got no shame, with hair greased and braided, cascading down dirt roads of brown skin, down shimmering dresses called guams and neon-colored chuki skirts, and I can hear the disgust in my cousin's voice. Look at those girls. They wear their guams to school and to the store like they're at home. Don't they know? This isn't their country. This is America. See, that's why everyone here hates us Micronesians. Because I lived here for so long. I lived here for about like 14 years of my life, and I felt like there's this kind of underlying racism that I grew up with, and I just came to accept as a part of daily life. And I didn't know that this isn't okay. It's not okay for people to treat you like that until I moved away, and I was like, oh, not everyone hates Micronesians, you know. So that's why I felt like I needed to write this poem and make it happen. So yeah, but at the same time I was really hesitant about sharing this piece because, you know, I'm not saying that, I'm not blaming Hawaiians, I'm not trying to point fingers. I'm just trying to say we're human beings and we don't deserve to be treated this way.
Nobody deserves.
Yeah.
This is not a Sunday church service. Instead, it's a gathering of the Micronesian community to help migrants make the difficult transition to life in Hawaii.
It's an extraordinarily different culture here because it is cash-based, and people are used to living in, you know, broadly stretched out families who look after each other.
Instead, some families find themselves looking out for one another on the streets. This is where they now live as they look for work and try to pull themselves out of poverty.
Most Micronesian people, most of them, they don't have job back home in Micronesia. So that's why we come here to find job, schools, they give us the insurance, the state of Hawaii.
Aware of any stereotypes about Micronesians? If so, can you describe some of them and respond to them?
The stereotype, of course, of Micronesian or towards Micronesian is here in Hawaii because we are the newest ethnic group of people coming into Hawaii. So some of the stereotype, of course, is that you're uneducated. You know, the other stereotype, of course, you know, you hear all of the really racist things. You know, I remember some people, you know, refer to the skirt as, you know, your curtain, why you wearing your curtain and stuff. But
when I first moved here, I wasn't aware of the stereotypes against Micronesians, but I was made clearly aware within a year of coming here. Oftentimes when I went to the parks, there was graffiti all over the stalls saying, "Go home Micronesians," and I was really shocked because I had no idea that Micronesians were thought of in this way. And a lot of times people would ask me where I'm from, and I would say I'm from Pohnpei, and they say, "Where is that?" And I would just say, "Oh, I'm Micronesian," and they're like, "Oh, so you don't look like a Micronesian," as if
we're in the midst of a series of reports on Micronesia and how the U.S. military's involvement with the islands spanned decades and is being felt in many different ways right here in the islands. Reporter Chad Blair has been working on these reports for the past year, and he joins us now. And Chad, this story all starts with nuclear testing.
Devastating nuclear testing. So what we did is for 12 years after World War II, we detonated the equivalent of more than one Hiroshima-sized bomb every single day. Now that had a tremendous effect not only on the islands, but you're still feeling it up to the present. For example, Nurjay Joseph, she's shown here holding a photograph back in 1954 after she was experienced and exposed to radioactive ash. She has suffered from thyroid problems. She takes a lot of medication, she is in pain. But you know what? She still can't go back home to Rongelap because the soil there is still too contaminated.
And we hear those stories over and over again here in the island.
That's right. So we have a treaty, the United States gives it complete control of 3 Micronesian nations in terms of military strategic control. In turn, the Micronesians are able to migrate here freely, and they're coming here for jobs and especially for medical care.
And that medical care is expensive.